In this video, I'll be sharing with you a continuation of how to cut and sew a transparent overburst with burst caging. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. In our previous tutorial, we stopped at the drafting of this pattern, right? For the pattern going towards the side, I'll add ½ inch here, and this side I'll trace exactly what I have here because I've already added that at the pattern. So here I'll go ahead to add ½ inch by the sides of the armhole. Now for this center piece, I'll be adding ½ inch on both sides. I'll add ½ inch on both sides, then going to the neckline, I'll go ahead to add ½ inch on top here because you'll be needing it to turn the neckline. So I'll also add ½ inch at the other side and also at the lower side of the pattern. So after I'm done cutting this out, this is what I have, and I cut out 4 pieces for each. So what I'll do is to go ahead to join them with ½ inch. But before doing that, I'll cut out the underbust area because we are going to use it to cut out the fabric which we are going to use for the burst caging of this pattern. Now after I'm done cutting this, I'll go ahead to add ½ inch on the pattern, but at the upper part of the neckline I won't be adding ½ inch because if you look at the original tutorial, the neckline of the caged part of this dress did not get up to the neckline of the dress, right? Because they used a mesh also to turn the neckline. So when I'm adding ½ inch, I won't add at the neckline, but I'm going to be adding towards the part that I'll use to join this pattern together, right? Then the lower part and the armhole part. Now I'll go ahead to separate my pattern. On each mesh, I cut out like 4 layers. So one will be used to turn one to the right side. So I'll just separate this and also separate the other side. So what I'll do is to go ahead to join this pattern, this mesh. So when I'm joining the mesh, I'm going to be joining it at the front side. I'm just using a mesh, not an original corset mesh, right? So I'm just working with what I have at home because this is a tutorial and I'm not really going to wear it. So here is my pattern and I've gone ahead to add ½ inch. So the neckline, just like I said, I did not add ½ inch because I want to turn the neckline in a way that it will be lower than the actual mesh. So I added ½ inch on this area and also in front. So now what I'll do is to go ahead to open this up and I'll be joining it. So for the main fabric, I'll be ironing an stay to it before joining with ½ inch. While on the lining part, I'll iron a peplum stay to it. So if you want to also iron an stay to it, you should at least iron like 2 to 3 layers of stay before going ahead to join for the lining. But for me, I'm using a peplum stay and I'm just going to go ahead to iron my pattern on it. And after ironing, I'll go ahead to join my pattern. So this is what I have after I'm done ironing. I'll just go ahead to place and I will join it. So after joining it, I'll start ironing it. I'll have to iron it out before we go ahead to do a burst caging on it. So I'll go ahead to iron open the joining on the dress this way. So after doing that, I'll also iron the other side. So after ironing, we'll go ahead to proceed to mark out the areas where we are doing the burst caging. So I'm just going to do a simple burst caging technique. I'm not going to do much. I don't have much burst, so I can even use a wording for this. So what I'll do is at the neckline, I'll mark 0.75. This is to give me room when I'm turning the neckline so that after turning it, the neckline will relax easier. So I'm just going to mark 0.75 round my pattern at the neckline at the armhole. So I'll also follow the shape of the neckline. Now I'll go ahead to mark at the side. You can easily follow the flow of the pattern. You notice where the shape that has like the bust shape ends at the side. I'll just carefully follow that line, and at the lower part I'll also measure 0.75 and I'm going to go ahead to mark this 0.75 all the way round the under bust, following the shape I have there. Right now, after I'm done marking this, I'll also connect it to the other side. So now I'll come to this side and I'll start connecting. I went down a bit and then connected to the bust point. Then I'll go down this way. Do not mark your caging on a straight line. So right now I'll also go ahead to take this part down a bit so that whatever I'm sewing will not be straight. So I'll start sewing my boning and we'll go over to the sewing machine to do that. So before starting to sew, all I'll do is to wrap up the mouth with a tape. Now I'll go ahead to curve this. So if you're having issues curving it, please go ahead to just notch it a little. So while notching it, I mistakenly cut it. So it's still okay. If you don't want to like notch it, you can cut it and rejoin it again. So I'll go ahead, sew the first part of this boning channel. So when I get to this point, I'm just going to curve. So when you're doing a bust caging, if you want to make it easier for you to sew, please go ahead and use the smallest size of boning. That boning does not stress you. It's very easy and flexible to work with. So I'll start sewing from the neckline and I'll also get to this curved point, that is the sweetheart area, and I'll also curve. So you notice that it's easy to work with this boning and it's more flexible, unlike the 0.5. So this should be the 0.25 or 0.3 boning channel. So I'll cut this. So while I'm cutting, I'll make sure that it's longer by ½ inch so that I'll force it into this space I have here and it will push the center out. So I'll also push this in. When you're putting your boning at this point, do not put it on a straight line. Like, don't use the exact measurement. You can use like ½ inch longer than what you have there, so that by the time you push it in, to make that joining on that point sit out very well and make your caging easier. But if you use like the exact size there, your caging might turn out flat. So I'll go ahead and I'll stitch this down. So after stitching it, now I'll place my boning from this part and then I will start sewing. I'll also follow the shape I have here, and if you notice, I didn't place it on a straight line. I made it a little curvy and make sure the boning meets at the nipple to nipple point. So this way it's going to like push out your nipple to nipple point at that point, like to make it sit or stand out very well. So I'm just going to sew this and then cut this and push it inside this part of the boning channel. So if you notice, the first boning I sewed round, I did not top stitch the other end. So I will now go ahead to top stitch it round. So already this is what I have. Although I have a small bust, you notice that it's sitting very well. So I'll just notch this upper part that has this sweetheart neckline so that it will sit very well. So this is what I have for my bust caging, and I'll go ahead to top stitch round the remaining parts. So after sewing, this is what I have, and I will have to like turn it the other way around to also iron. So even if I push it the other way around, you notice it is also sitting well. So if you don't want to use a fiber, you can use your wadding or you can use your stay. But if you're using your stay, you're going to use layer of stay. So I'm using like 4 layers for this, right? You can use 3 to 5 layers, and you're going to be patient with ironing it. Now also have to place your hemming gum before the stay, and also if you're using a fiber or a wadding, you're also going to place your hemming gum. So after placing the first layer, I'm going to place the rest of the layer of the stay on it. So I'll also go ahead to sprinkle water on it so that it can sit very well, because I'm not using a steam iron, I'm using a regular iron. I'll just place the remaining 3 layers on it, sprinkle water on it, and then I will iron. This will help it sit very well. So if you notice, I sprinkled water before I added the last layer, then I'll sprinkle another water and then I'll iron out. So if you don't have a steam iron, you can easily use this, and then I'll go ahead to iron out. So after ironing, what I'll do is I'll go ahead to trim off the excess. So remember, while trimming off this excess, while we were sewing, before marking the boning, we left 0.75 inches, right? So you're going to trim off this your stay or fiber or wording that you're using of that 0.75. Why? Because you'll be turning your bust caging, your fabric from that part, so you don't want to have something that is bulky, right? So after that, I'll go ahead to iron it back again. So ironing is very important for it to relax very well. After ironing, I'll turn it to the other side and I'll also go ahead to iron. Now it's time to turn it to the right side. I'm going to bring the main fabric where I ironed a stay on. So now I'll stitch with 1/2 inch at the lower part and 1/2 inch at the neckline at the armhole. So I'll leave one armhole open, which I'll use in turning out my fabric. So I'll go ahead to notch this. Then when I turn it to the right side, I'll top stitch that part of the armhole and also go ahead to iron my caged part of this dress. Now let's move over to the back pattern of this dress, right? I added 1/2 inch all the way around. Here I added 1/2 inch also. So when I drafted the back pattern and the upper part, I added extra 1/2 inch, but I went ahead to trim it off before transferring. So if you watch our previous video, you're going to also see that. I cut out 2 layers for each and I joined it. So I also joined another layer of it. So I'm just going to go ahead to join this side. So if you watch the drafting part, you notice that one part is shorter. So I used one pattern to cut this out. All I'll do is just to trace out this side, right? Now I'll go ahead to join this. So I'll be joining like 2 pieces of this for each side. Now while joining, I joined this at the right side, and what I'll do is to go ahead to trace this out. So next I'll use my heated iron and I'm going to iron this out. So don't use iron that has much heat, if not it's going to burn your mesh. So just like I said, I have 2 pieces of this, so I'll be using one to turn the other one. So the next step is to create your boning channel for this pattern. So I actually had a video where I did this, but while recording I noticed that that part of the video was not recording when I was actually making the video. So what I did was to create a boning channel, and the boning channel is at the right side of the dress. So just create a boning channel on all the lines you have, or as much as you want on your dress. So mine is not as much as what we have on the thumbnail. I just wanted to leave it simple since it's a tutorial and I'm not going to actually wear it, so it's just for tutorial sake. Now I'll be placing the other layer on it, which I'll go ahead to top stitch the neckline of this dress, right? So after top stitching it, I'll go ahead to trim off the excess at that point. So I'm done stitching, and what I'll do is just to trim it off close to the neckline, but you have to be careful not to cut out your initial stitch. So after cutting out, I'll flip it to the right side and I'll go ahead to also iron. So to create the lacing bar area, so because of time, I just did something simple. So what I have here is 4 inches on fold. I'll go ahead to stitch the upper part. So next, what I'll now do is to push this inside this way and then fold it in with 1/2 inch, both at the front and at the back, and I'll go ahead to top stitch. So this part might take you time because of your pushing this inside. Please also use your pin to hold. So whenever you're sewing something that has a mesh, please work with your pin. It makes it easier. So I went ahead to like just place it there and I ran a stitch at the center. So what I'll do next is to pass my boning through it. So this mesh is looking a bit rumpled. I was actually afraid to like iron it with a hot iron to avoid it from burning up. So this is what I have right now. I went ahead to re-iron it, and what I'll do also is to pass my boning here. Now after this, we'll be wrapping this. So I'll fold this edge. I cut out a strip that is about 1.5 inches and I'm going to sew 1/2 inch at this point, and after I get to the end, I will now go ahead to like fold it to the right side and I will top stitch on it, wrapping the lower part of this dress up before going ahead to join the caged area to it. So this is what I have, and what I'll do is to go ahead to iron this. So I'll just go ahead to iron it before I start placing the caged part, but I'm ironing it with a warm iron now because I don't want to burn the mesh and start afresh. So this is what I have, and let's go ahead to add the caged part to it. So now what I'll do is to place it this way, and I'll use my needle to secure this first before stitching it down, right? So I'll go ahead to pin here, and what I'll now do is to go ahead to stitch it by the side. That is at the side. I'll go ahead to run a stitch at this boning we have at the side of my dress. But before going ahead to stitch, go ahead to secure it. So this is what I have. Now what I'll do is to go ahead to sew on this boning by the side here. Now you can decide to like and tack it neatly like on this boning at this center, or you can run a stitch on the sewing machine to hold it down. So whatever one that works for you, you can go ahead to use that. So this is what I have, although I didn't use much boning channels for this particular dress.